Zaxton attends Kimi Ora School in Wellington, New Zealand. Kimi Ora means seeking well-being or health. The school supports children with some of the highest and most complex additional needs. Zaxton needs a wheelchair and communicates with an electronic device known as an accent. At home, Zaxton's parents recall how they discovered his unique condition.
Get your drink, have a drink.
Alarm bells rung at the birth.
Yeah, got sent to a paediatrician and had an MRI. Was seen at 5 months. She diagnosed him with cerebral palsy. And obviously that turns your world upside down. With a diagnosis of that, they can never tell you, especially at such a young age, how it's going to affect the child because every child's so different. So it can be 1 limb, 2 limbs, 4 limbs. In Zaxton's case, it's all 4. Okay.
In spite of his challenges, Zaxton is known for his sense of humour.
Are you laughing at Nana?
He gets a lot of laughs, a lot of smiles, draws a lot of attention just by being himself. And even though he might be sitting in a chair, he's got a sharp smile and a brilliant eye, and he'll catch people from across the room and, you know, draw them in and create that conversation. It's a little mastermind, actually.
Zaxton is 13 years old. He is still very much a learner driver when it comes to using his power chair. He is really fun and likes to explore.
Over here. You forget where your classroom was.
We're putting people on powered mobility more and more often early because it encourages them to explore their world, and that increases their desire to learn and explore, which then helps tie into maturing the brain, creating people that have interests.
Zaxton, have you had any crashes lately? Yes. When was your last crash? No, not telling. Okay. Well, the last crash took out your tray again, didn't it? Whoa, stop.
Dave's long-term dream for Zaxton is for him to be able to mobilise independently, so he can get out and about and do the things he loves.
Zaxton's favourite thing in the world is transport, any kind of transport, and what he loves to do most is just burnouts in his wheelchair and mow things down.
He needs to learn to take his driving a little more seriously, but at the end of the day, Zaxton is like any other teenager. He just wants to have some fun along the way.
Okay, straight up the slope. Oi! Oi! Watch out, watch out, watch out. Oi,
One of Zaxton's favourite things to do is keep tabs on all the taxi drivers at school, and he has a specific page set up on his accent that says, like, Bruce is a goose, or John sing a song, you know, those kinds of things where he makes fun of them. Today we're starting on the process of giving him a driver's licence, essentially, so that he's working on the sensible skills that he needs. Right, gentlemen, welcome to the first day of Kimi Ora's Powered Wheelchair Driving School. No silliness, no laughing. Okay, you need to stop before you hit this wedge. Good, and stop. Go back, let's go again.
Kimi Ora School use Storypark, an educational tool that allows them to document children's progression and collaborate with families, therapists, and other educators.
So the learning that we filmed today is going to go on Storypark and then go home for the family to see. So it's the start of learning to drive sensibly, and I'm going to use that just to share with the family so that we can share his progress. So this is the start of a journey for him.
Zaxton has been at Kimi Ora for 9 years. The last 4 have been documented on Storypark.
It's more secure than social media, and our parents have control over who gets to see the content.
Today, Pat is taking Zaxton out into the community as part of his power wheelchair training.
Okay, so have fun, tight turns, slopes. Take a tight turn, please. Round you go. Let's catch up James. He's getting ahead of us. Get everything out. There's your sunglasses. Okay, looking cool. Whoop, whoop. Can you make it to the top? Can you make it? You can. Go for it, Zaxton. Okay, where do you need to stand for the train? Over there, okay. Is it coming? Big shout, Zaxton. Oh, can I hear you? Okay. Okay, we are right at the end, guys. Okay, we are on the train going to Upper Hutt. So shall we look out for some army trucks, Zaxton? What do you reckon? Yes, okay, right. Watch out. Let's look out for some army trucks. You got to look.
Next station.
Yeah. So we're just going to see if we can see the riding school. Can you shout out if you see it, Zaxton?
Not yet. Not yet.
After the train trip, Pat is sitting down to write a story on Storypark.
It was fun today, and we also had time to practice your driving skills up slopes and taking tight corners. We even had time to say hello to your mum. And I will publish.
Zaxton, you going too? What do you need to do, Zaxton? What way do you need to go? Yep, so you've got to get off the pacer first.
Unfortunately, all this hard work could come undone.
So we've just been really working on his skills quite hard out at the end of this term because Zaxton's going in for spinal fusion surgery. So at the minute he's starting to develop a scoliosis, which is impacting on his ability to manage most things. So he'll have his spine rotted basically so that he sits up straighter. He's going to have to relearn lots of motor patterns and stuff like that because he's going to be completely different position-wise to what he's used to now. So we're just trying to get the skills as locked in as we can. So when we revisit, it's not as much work to do.
Scoliosis is a sideways curve of the spine, which can worsen over time. It can be painful, and in severe cases, the rib cage may press against the lungs and heart, making it difficult to breathe and restricting blood flow.
He's going to need to go into hospital for quite a large operation to basically correct his spine.
I actually don't quite know how to feel at the moment. There's just so much going on. There's a lot of, anxiousness, worry. It's kind of almost like a surreal situation where you're just hanging in this limbo really for me at the moment, and because there's just so much to organise around it all.
I try to communicate the best I can with Zaxton about anything at the end of the day, and we just have our little powwow. I've asked him how he's feeling and things like that, and it's just trying to reassure him too that it's all right. You were in for it was what, 9-hour surgery? So it was a whole day of fear, and then straight into ICU for a couple of days. So it's like pretty strenuous as a parent, but it's, we're just seeing how his recovery has, come back, and just that he's all there and we've got all his faculties still, and he's smart, because there's all the dangers that you go into in a massive spinal surgery.
Zaxton now remembers his days in hospital from the comfort of his home.
So that was when, roughly, what was that time in that photo? That was after the operation.
So that was just before it. That was August the 13th. This must be August 24th. So this is you in hospital. Here I am working on my new page of taxi drivers that Mum created for me. I'm showing off to the nurses and they thought I didn't talk. Haha, were they wrong? And then you had lots of people posting feedback on all of that.
When Zaxton started using his electronic accent to communicate in the hospital, it meant a lot. He was regaining his famous sense of humour.
Basically, it was showing that his personality was coming back, and the surgery certainly hadn't affected that by, you know, giving the nurses a hard time with his accent and whatnot, and making sure that everybody in the hospital knew he was there because he was talking very loudly. Zaxton, you had such a great time in the pool. You had a huge smile back on your face as well as working hard with your exercise. It was so nice to see you sparkle back in your eyes. You've been such a trooper with all that you've been through over the past month, and everyone is super proud of you. Here's some photos.
Throughout the journey, Zaxton's family have been able to stay in contact with the Kimi Ora staff via Storypark.
I mean, a picture and a short video on Storypark has got, you know, it's 1,000 words, so we're watching stuff in the recovery process, which is like that we can't do here. And you're back starting physio in a pool. It was great. And you look at you, he's trying to stand up, pushing up in there.
Taking weight through your feet again.
It's like an immediate snapshot in time for everybody involved to see where he's at.
So this is what amazed me. It's only 2 weeks after being back at school, and you've gone from only being able to lay in the pool to being like this.
And there's current in the water too, so he's pushing you.
So after a risky surgery, Zaxton is on the mend.
Zaxton's comfort level is definitely 100% now. He's like in a different place, and that makes us happy. Yeah, he'll advance now rather than, you know, decrease in his limitations, what he's able to do and his comfort levels. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody wants to be happy, taste food, enjoy the smells, go out and enjoy the sights, and if you can do that, you know, if you can sustain that in life and see a smile on someone's face, that's everything. Yeah.